Parents, you're concerned that your kids are spending too much time on their screens playing their Nintendos, and you're like, why are they not playing outside in the backyard like we did when we were kids? Maybe the backyard that you have is a little bit boring and you're looking for a way to spice it up. Well, today I'm going to show you how with a budget of $300 you can do just that, so you can compete with the antics of that Italian plumber on mushrooms. So stay tuned. But real quick, what's up? I'm Jeff. Welcome to the workshop. This channel is Fun-Sized Adventures, where I'm here to help parents like you build some backyard fun for your family while keeping it on a budget. And today, that budget is $300. Now, this is episode 3 in this series. In the first one, I laid out our 3-step backyard fun framework of skills, thrills, and chills, and how those are the 3 key ingredients, I think, to really piquing your kids' interest and helping them have a blast playing in your own backyard. And then in episode 2, I showed you how you could do that with just a tiny budget of $100, yet still accomplish all 3 of those goals. In today's video, we're gonna up that budget to $300, which is 3 times the 100, so it should be easy, right? There's so many more opportunities, so many more options for what you could do, that it can be hard to figure out how to spend that money correctly. But why $300? In my real life job, I work for Nabisco. Sometimes quarterly we get bonuses based on whether or not we hit our sales objectives. And that's usually in the neighborhood of about $300. So that's I think a common little bit of extra pocket change that might fall into a family's bank account that they could use for something like this, that the whole family, but especially their kids, can enjoy. Because we all want to do nice things for our kids, right? Even though they don't pick up their toys or anything that we tell them, really. I'm going to break this down by what I would do in 3 different age groups, whether you're like preschool age, kind of elementary age, or kind of heading more into like junior high years. And also, the exciting thing about this price point is it can start affording what I call all-in-one solutions. And those would be things like trampolines, climbing domes, things that execute well all 3 of our key backyard fun ingredients. And going for an all-in-one, number 1, is great because generally these aren't going to require any trees to hang them from like some of my other options later on. They usually don't take up too much space, and you can fit them in pretty much any suburban backyard. So let's start off with the preschoolers, kids 1 to 5. What I would go for in this age range, Zupapa Trampolines just came out with this little mini rectangular trampoline that has a super small footprint. It's only 4 feet by 6 feet, but it includes a enclosed mini trampoline. It includes a little hammock swing. It includes a basketball hoop on the end and a couple balls, as well as some monkey bars you can replace that swing. And if they fall off the swing or the monkey bars, they're landing on the trampoline, so this is super safe. It's about in the like $200 range right now. You can't really go wrong with that. Moving up to the next age group, kids about 4 to 8. What I would recommend there is one of these dome climbers. I know I have a Hat Fan brand dome climber in the backyard, and my kids in this age range really enjoy it, especially the version that comes with this, I think they call it a canopy, but it's more of like a hammock that suspends a couple feet off the ground inside the dome, because that gives you a great place to chill out with your friends. You'll learn the skills of climbing up, maneuvering around the dome, and it's just thrilling to be up high. You know, those kids, they're climbing up and jumping off of everything they could find. And then moving up to the next age group up, which is probably about like 7 to 12, I have a Zupapa trampoline. I think they are probably the best quality that trampoline you can get. But in this $300 and below price range, you're not going to be able to get one of those, but you still could get a trampoline. If something makes sense to spend a little bit extra money and get something that's really high quality, trampoline is probably what you want to spend that money on. But if you wanted to keep it in this budget, there are options available. I'll put a link to one down in my video description, as well as all these other products I mentioned will be linked in the description below, and they'll be broken down by the different age categories as I list them, so they'll be easy to find down there. Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to link to our $100 budget video that I did previously, because that includes a lot of little like add-ons that are like in the $5, $10, $15 range that will help you fill out these $300 budgets with some little things that will really plus it out and give kids a few different options for a very small amount of money to really bring the fun to the next level. But now let's head on from the all-in-one solutions to kind of a more piecemeal approach and what I would do. For our preschool kids in the 1 to 4 age range, I would start off just like on our $100 budget with a sandbox. But this time you have a little bit more money to work with. Let's get a little bit longer boards, a little bit more sand, and make it a little bit bigger. For about $50, you could make a big enough sandbox for a few kids to play in. But what could really plus this out is instead of your basic plastic sand toys, add a couple of these Tonka classic steel dump trucks and excavators and stuff, especially boys, but I think girls too will really enjoy this. My kids spend hours and hours and hours playing in the sand. They'd be out there building things in the sandbox all night. It's a good place to learn those skills of building stuff out of sand. Then when it comes to getting them a little bit of thrill, the brand Hapfan makes swing sets, and one of their smaller swing sets, it's only about 6 feet tall. It has a couple different swings on it, one of these bigger net style swings and then a normal swing. I think this would be great for kids in that age range. If they're right on the beginning of that age range, you might need to get more of a toddler swing to put on there and swap one of them out for the first couple of years. But this is a great way for them to get those thrills. And these are only about $180, at least currently on Amazon. You know how Amazon prices fluctuate. That sudden rush of speed, that's going to give your preschool age kid the thrills they need. And then if you want a place that's a little bit better to chill, you can add on for like 15, 20 bucks, a hammock, tie it up. All of my kids really enjoy chilling out in these hammocks. That's where you'll find us, especially on hot afternoons. We'll be sitting in those hammocks in the shade. Then moving up to the elementary kids, ages like 5 to 9. For this age range, I went with ideas that kind of require you to have trees, but the next age range up is kind of like, it could be interswapped, and one's kind of like the tree option, one's the no tree option. But for this age range, I would start off with an upgraded Ninja course. These ones are normally in the $150 range, and they include a lot of different obstacles than your basic ones have, and really present an opportunity to learn different skills as you learn to maneuver your way across this course. And then this is where we get to one of my favorite thrills, is a backyard zip line. CTSC brand is my favorite zip line brand. They're probably one of the most affordable, and also I've had one up in the yard for several years. They're super high quality. You see this picture right here on their Amazon listing. Yes, that is my son, because they liked some of the videos I made so much they actually reached out to me, wanted me to take some pictures for the Amazon listing. So yeah, that's Miles right there. You can see him on Amazon, the Amazon celebrity. But assuming you have like a normal, like smaller side suburban backyard, that smallest cable length that they have is going to work for you. And that's only about $100. And that comes with the safety harness, the tree protectors, everything you need to have a great, fun zip lining time. Just zipping along similar to you would in a sled. And it's super thrilling, even for me. And I'm like pushing 50 if you ask my little sister. I'm only 41. And then for a place to chill, it's really hard for me to not default to like that basic hammock, because it's such like a low cost thing and it works so well. But for the sake of mixing it up, and go with a hammock swing. Now this is similar, but it only hangs from like a tree in one spot, and then it has a bar and then a little hammock seat, more of a thing. And this is a great spot for them to chill out for a while, maybe read a book, have a snack, doodle in a journal. And that leaves us with the preteens in that 10 to 12-year-old range. And what I recommend for this age group, they're old enough that they've developed interest, and you can kind of identify that and then figure out what you want to do. Like for instance, you could get a very good adjustable basketball goal for like $200 to $250 plus a basketball, and that's going to give them a place to learn skills. It's kind of thrilling to get that perfect swoosh from the three-point line, or to just have a rousing game of one-on-one, especially if they're into those more traditional sports like that. Now, I know my kids enjoy that, but they also enjoy riding bikes. If this budget is for multiple kids, this next suggestion won't really work, but if they're into riding bikes, you could fit a quality bike for somebody of this age into that price range and still have some money left over. I just got a bike for Miles from this brand, Glerc Bikes, that has sprung up in the last few years, trying to make high quality bikes while remaining on a budget that most families can actually afford. But they also have a couple different mountain bikes. One of them is the Mars. Seems like a fairly lightweight, good 24-inch mountain bike for kids in this age range. They have the Skyline, which is a little bit more of a traditional mountain bike. It has good brakes. It has a good frame. These two are about $250 to $275, depending on what promotions are currently running. Then maybe if you have a girl who wants something a little bit less all-terrain and a little bit more feminine in design, they have great bikes like this. This one here is the Missy, and it has a little basket on the front, nice, bright, more girly colors. A great bike for just rolling around the neighborhood. And then for a place to chill, for about $40 on Amazon, you can get one of these collapsible camp chairs with a little awning. And this would be a great option. It's similar to the last one, but it doesn't require you to have a place to hang it. You can just set it up somewhere. It kind of just gives you that little spot to get away by yourself, contemplate your thoughts. So within that $300 price range, we really crammed in a bunch of different options of what you could do to provide your kids that place to learn skills, that place to get thrills, and that place to just chill, all within the confines and safety of your own backyard. If you want to know more about the video that I mentioned where you're on a $100 budget, check out this one here. If you want to know more about this 3-step framework that I created for backyard fun, check out this video right here. until next time, get out there in your own backyard with your kids, have a fun-sized adventure of your own, and do it on a budget. Eli has just arrived because he's waiting on me to do just that. See ya.
What video? There's not my thing in.
There's going to be a thing right here. I haven't added it in